BELINTASH Part 5. One of the most widely circulated Imanyar legends about the sanctuary is that the uncle of Alexander the Great, who died in the campaign of the famous general against the Persians, was buried around BELINTASH. BELINTASH is a favored topic among the so-called Bulgarian ufologists, according to Risto Nanev. The place is saturated with strong energy fields, and another of his colleagues, Marin Nadanov, claims that the rocky plateau is an intermediate space station for the landing of UFOs. At the beginning of 2002, the Bulgarian press was full of sensational headlines and materials talking about a mysterious skull of an alien being found near BELINTASH. After extensive journalistic inspection, it was found to be a bovine skull, but with the face and lower jaw missing. There is also a legend that somewhere under BELINTASH is hidden an ancient library of knowledge left by the ancient Thracians. Another Imanyar legend says that somewhere in the area between BELINTASH and Karajov-Kamak, monks from a medieval monastery on Krastova Gora hid untold riches and books from the Ottoman hordes during their invasion of the Bulgarian lands. According to Nikola Boev, the place was cursed because it was pagan, and with the forcible imposition of Christianity, temples were built to destroy the pagan remnants. Where they could not be built, the terrain was anathematized, which is why, according to him, there is not a single church on BELINTASH. One of the most fantastic articles on BELINTASH is undoubtedly the one on the importance of the place for the salvation of humanity on December 21, 2012. Which claims that the place will save the world. According to its authors, the great star would rise above the place to indicate the path that sinners must take to atone for their accumulated sins against God and nature. The sunrise of the celestial body in question is expected on December 21, 2012, the end of the world, according to the Mayan calendar. There are also publications that claim that BELINTASH is the place where Noah's Ark landed, as the biblical vessel was anchored to the large stone ring carved into the rocks. The popularity of BELINTASH among the tabloid media also became the occasion for a very ironic article of Maxim magazine, in which a specially trained team of editor and photographer spent the night on the mysterious plateau to confirm or disprove most of the urban legends dedicated to the place. In the last few years, BELINTASH has become a very popular tourist destination and has been the subject of numerous travelogues, amateur videos, blog posts and a topic of discussion in many ancient history forums. In July 2013, the magazine National Geographic Bulgaria dedicated its leading article to the Rhodope sanctuaries, and the cover of the issue featured a photo of the so-called Guardian archive of the original from 2014 on the Wayback Machine of the BELINTASH sanctuary against the background of the starry sky. Taken by the photographer Krasimir Andanov. In the fall of 2009, Andanov began working on the photographic series, Rock Cut Monuments, with the first shots taken in BELINTASH. BELINTASH is also present on the social network Facebook, where 2780, as of August 15, 2015, Users have joined as likes on the page dedicated to the place. The legends about the Thracian sanctuary are also a source of inspiration for Bulgarian fiction. In 2019, the book, Legends from Belintash, by the writer Tanya Mir was published. The book takes the reader back 2 millennia to the time when the greatest rebellion of the Thracians against the Roman rule on our lands broke out in ancient Thrace. The reason for it is the Temple of Dionysus, which, according to one of the legends, was built precisely in Belintash. At the end of July 2014, it was announced that an international expedition would investigate signs left by an ancient civilization at the prehistoric sanctuaries of Belintash, Tatal and Harmankaya. Some of the scientists are Professor Anna Raduncheva from the Archaeological Institute of the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, the archaeoastronomer Robert Bovil, the geologist Dr. Robert Schock and the astrophysicist Thomas Brophy. The scientific team is united around the opinion that the artifacts from the Rhodope sanctuaries suggest traces left by an ancient civilization with highly developed astronomical and engineering knowledge. The scientists are accompanied by a team from the Bulgarian National Television, which is filming the work for the production of a documentary film with the working title, In the Footsteps of the Ancients, which is expected to generate international media interest in the ancient heritage of Bulgaria, which is little known internationally and poorly researched. Schock and Bovil visited Belintash on July 28, 2014 with a team from the Bulgarian National Television. The response to the news was received quite reservedly by some of the Bulgarian archaeologists, who have been studying the sites that the expedition will visit for years. Associate Professor Nikolai Ovcharov nevertheless admits in one of his statements on the issue that the procedures for international expeditions are very difficult, but they have their important meaning for Bulgaria. Belintash and the surrounding area under the rocky plateau have been subject to mining invasions since as far back as 1868. When 3 French citizens stole archaeological finds. The municipality of Asanovgrad took the appropriate steps in 2011 to manage Belintash, similar to the Asanov fortress. No work has been done on the file, with which Belintash is expected to be officially handed over for management as an archaeological zone from the state to the municipality of Asanovgrad. Since the same 2011. In the spring of 2013, the chairman of the Union of Entrepreneurs in Asanovgrad, Dimitar Sarov, raised the alarm about illegal construction in the Belintash area. According to Sarov, the construction falls within the urbanized territories of the Thracian rock sanctuary, Belintash. By law, buildings must be made of wood and stone to blend in with their surroundings. Sarov has filed a case in the Plovdiv Administrative Court in which he disputes the construction permit for the site. The construction in question has been completed, and a building is being erected on the site, which, according to the permit documents, will serve as an Orthodox church. A site with a shed has been built in the immediate vicinity of it. Archaeologist Ivan Ristov expressed his opinion on the case in his interview. also expressing his bewilderment about the lack of position from the competent institutions and the lack of opinion of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church. According to unofficial data, BELINTASH is visited by about 400 tourists on average every weekend. The great interest in the sanctuary and the unorganized free access lead to the contamination of the site. Borislav Borislavov shared in 2010 that the pollution of the plateau from butts, undercooked juices and paper napkins is great. An organized Imanyar gang, including an active pop from Yambol, was detained in mid-October 2014 under BELINTASH during a police operation. The Imanyars were looking for a treasure described on an old map. In August 2010, a young man died falling from the rock plateau in a ridiculous accident. The man was part of a tourist group that decided to spend the night on the rocky plateau to observe a meteor shower. The group lit a fire, which went out, and the young man decided to light it again, but lost his bearings and fell off the rocks into the darkness. There is a ban on lighting fires in the BELINTASH area. However, this ban is being broken. It is a fact that lightning strikes a lot on the rocky plateau, and local people often advise tourists not to go to the place if it is about to rain and the sky darkens. In the month of July 2014, lightning struck near 2 hikers on the plateau, as a result of which one hiker fainted and the other was thrown off the plateau and fell, fortunately, into bushes growing on the rocks, which caught his body and protected him from a fatal end. Due to the location of BELINTASH in a mountainous area, all those wishing to visit it should keep in mind the safety advice determined by the topography of the terrain. Shortly after the start of the trail to the rock plateau, there is a medical first aid kit located. You have watched the last fifth part of the documentary, BELINTASH, The White Stone.